And congratulations to our two newest consultants. One of them I see on, Brittany Sexton. Congratulations. Yay. And then Lindsay Clover is our other newest consultant from the past week. So congrats, you guys. So exciting. And I am going to introduce our speaker tonight. And I mean, she really doesn't need much of an introduction, but Miss Chelsie Word. She is a total leader, rock star on our team, and I'm super excited for her to share tonight. I would say I've seen a new energy and light in her since New Year's kickoff. You guys, events work, and not always your first event. Every event hits us differently. So I'm excited for her. She's going to talk about being in action and staying in action long past the event has happened, and share some of her takeaways from New Year's kickoff. And I'm just pumped for everyone to learn from her. So Chelsie, I know it's only 8 o'clock there, so hopefully your kids are in bed, and thank you for taking the time to come on and share your wisdom with us.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Allison. And my kids go to bed super early. They didn't nap today, so it was like 6:45 bedtime.
You are fortunate then. That's awesome.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on tonight. I'm super excited to just hop on here and share some of the things I've been doing since NYKO. But first of all, I just want to say, how's everyone doing from NYKO? Like, if you were there, are you still keeping up with your energy? Are you still pumped? Are you still excited? Are you still doing everything that you talked about doing at NYKO? And the reason I want to start by asking that, and just kind of keep that in mind throughout this call, is because events are so empowering. They're so inspiring. This was my second NYKO. I've been to Celebration. I've been to UIA, and they're so amazing, but it's really easy to kind of fizzle out really quickly after. And just, shortly after NYKO, I could feel my energy start to fade from it already. And so staying in action is super important, and keeping your goals in mind are super important to realize why you're doing this. So when the energy fades and there's not 5,000 people screaming around you, that you can still keep going with this. So I've got a whole bunch of things to touch on tonight. Hopefully it's not all over the place and you can keep up with it. So anyway, first of all, after the event, my husband and I, he came with, and he's been to a couple events with me as well. And we really just had to sit down and figure out what's working and what's not for our business. It snowed like 6 inches the night before we were supposed to come home here. So that gave us a chance to go to breakfast on Sunday morning and really figure some things out. So literally all of breakfast, our 3-hour drive home, I thought about things I could do to be more in action and get going. For those of you who are new to Isogenics and just getting started, it's amazing. You still have a warm market. You have lots of contacts, lots of friends, lots of family that you can reach out to. But for those of us who have been in this for a little bit longer, our warm market is now tapped out. We are now faced with the cold market of new people, and where do we go? What do we do? How do we make new contacts? Because how are you going to bless lives and share this amazing opportunity in nutrition with people if our warm market's gone? So that was the big thing for me. So we sat down, just started making a list of what I can do. There's triathlons in our area. Can I set up a booth? There's health fairs in our area. Can I set up a booth? There's bridal expos coming up. Can I set up a booth? And I literally just started sending out messages. I would Google something, find out when the date was, and send out a message. Hey, can I set up a booth here? Hey, do you have booths available? And I really just started sending out messages. And that was one of the things I needed to just stay in action. My warm market's tapped out. I really just need to gain exposure at this time. Social media is important. Facebook, Instagram, building that is important, but it's also the belly to belly, getting in people's faces, getting to know these people that we're hoping to join our business, join our lifestyle, because these are amazing products, and there's a great opportunity for so many things. So that was a huge thing for me is, how can I get myself out there more? So those are some of the things we started looking into. And literally, we just got online, Googled health fair, Sholo, Arizona, health fair, Flagstaff, Arizona. and one of the things that I'll be coming to is in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is 6 hours away. We used to live there. I have contacts there, but I really want to get back there and start building in that area because I lived there for 5 years. So even if you have to make the drive, Hillary Courtney lives in the middle of nowhere. She's one of our top leaders in the company, and she would drive 7 hours one way just to do like a meet and greet, sit down, map out, Crystal Executive, just do those things with your team. So that's one of the huge things I've been doing to start to really get into action and gain exposure to my cold market. One of the other things that seems to fade after events are your goals. I've had it happen to myself. I have this goal in mind. I want to be this by a certain date. And, I've hit some of them and I've not hit some of them. And so one of the things I've really been trying to stay consistent on is saying it every single day, whether it's on your phone, written on your mirror, all over the house on Post-its, whatever you need to do to remind yourself of where you want to be in this business, whether it's going big and working your way back or thinking of, okay, this is my next goal. I've hit consultant. Now I want to hit Crystal Manager, or I've hit Crystal Manager. Now I want to hit Crystal Director. For me, I want to hit Crystal Executive, and I also want to be able to retire myself from my practice someday, and that's going to be 4-star. So my big thing is 4-star Crystal Executive, and I literally say that to myself every single day. I got a whiteboard, I got markers, and it's going to be on our bathroom wall. My husband doesn't know that yet, or bathroom mirror, but it's going to be on our wall, on our mirror. Like, I need to see that every day, but I say it every single day. I am 4-star Crystal Executive. And one of the things that I've really been doing a lot more recently is initially I would say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And then the excitement from the event fades and you get busy with life. And I'm a PA. I work a busy practice. I was talking to a friend today. We had like 76 people on our schedule. It's crazy. I mean, life gets busy, but one of my big why, and we all have our different reasons why, but you have to know your why and you have to remind yourself of it every single day, because as strong as it might be, your actions to get to that why may fizzle, because mine have fizzled. And so everyone has to figure out their own way to do this, but every single night I go in and tuck my kids to bed before I go to sleep. I tuck them into bed. And every single night since NYKO, I've said, this will change. I will be able to be home with you more. I will be able to work less. Just this will change. And so I say that to my kids every night. My husband's listening in the background. He doesn't know that, but I say that to them every single night because I want to keep that accountability to myself. I may have friends that hold me accountable. I may have my husband that holds me accountable, but overall, I need to be held accountable for what I want to accomplish, and my why is my family. And I need to say that to them every day to remind myself of why I'm doing this. So that's a huge thing, is keep your goals in sight, keep them big, and know that you can achieve them. You just have to keep that in mind, say it every day, and say what you want to do to accomplish that. So that's another thing. Another big thing as far as action is thinking long-term. So, there's so many companies out there these days. There's lots of network marketing. There's lots of get-rich-quick schemes. And you need to know that this is an amazing company with an amazing compensation plan. But it may take 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road to get to where you want to be. It just depends on how much action you're putting in. The thing that really stuck with me from NYKO, people will throw out numbers all the time of, oh, this person did it in a year and a half, and they're making this much now, and they made millionaires within 2.5 years. And you hear those stories, but the story of Alexis Romano, she is a teacher, and her first year in Isogenics, I think she made I don't know the exact, it was something, it was small, like 16,000. And the next year was like 24,000. And year 3 and year 4 was like 64,000. And year 5 in her business, she made $900,000. So this is not a short golf game. This is the 18 holes. This is, you got to be in it. You got to stay committed. You got to keep your goals in mind and think about the long term. And I think things cross our mind all the time and doubts creep in, like, oh, well, I don't know if I could do this. Why don't I just stay with my comfortable job and retire? When I think about that, I don't want to be a PA until I'm 65 or 70 and then I'd go on the retirement plan of like 40% of my income, like the 40-40, you work for your 40 years of your life and 40% of your income. I don't want to do that. So even if it does take a long time, even if it takes 10 or 15 years, isn't that 20 years less than like your normal retirement? And that's kind of how I think of it, is that this can be done as fast as you want, or you can build it slow and keep going. But it's just not a short-term business. It's you're in it for the long haul. And that's what I keep reminding myself, is that, you have your goals, and your goals can be as big as you want them, and just work backwards. Plan out your goal when you want to hit that, and then work backward. What milestone do I have to hit here and here and here? Work backwards to try to make sure you're hitting all of those goals in the future. And that's what I've started to do also. As far as planning events go, I know Allison said, share how you are doing this. So I lived in Las Vegas, and I'm doing a show or a expo coming up this weekend, as well as planning for ICU in May. And so it's not glamorous, but one night I just sat down and I went through my Facebook list of friends and I put in like search Las Vegas, and nothing came up, like zero. I was like, what? I thought you're supposed to put in your info, and all your friends popped up of where they were. I was like, I got to figure out who's in Vegas, because I got to make my list. I got to start building towards events. I went through my list of however many 100 friends I have, and I went through all of it, and I wrote down every single name in my notebook. I'll show you. From here through Flagstaff, Arizona, through Las Vegas. And I literally wrote down every single name, and I'm planning to like contact them. I have 4 pages, guys. I have got 100 contacts. I never would have known about all of these people had I not just sat down and gone through this list. When we think about building 2 events and we think about doing these things, you're like, oh, I know so-and-so and so. And you can come up with maybe like 10, but 100 people that I know, from Sholo, Arizona to Flagstaff, Arizona to Las Vegas, 100 people, a couple in Phoenix too. I mean, that's a lot. And so right now, part of my action is building to ICU in Las Vegas. I'm going to be there. My goal is to have a big team there. I really want to just be doing my reach outs and like touches right now. So when it gets closer, I can say, hey, can you come with me? And my reach outs right now, I mean, they're not glamorous. We've got the isogenic scripts. We've got a lot of tools in place as far as like what to say, but right now I'm not saying any of that. I'm touching base with people I haven't talked to in 5 or 6 years. I'm asking how their New Year's is going, how their Christmas is going, what they're doing these days, how their kids are. I'm really just trying to build a relationship, because I'm building to this event. I want this event to be amazing in Las Vegas. I want to have a big team there. So I'm building for that right now. And that's another huge thing, is researching events in your area or events that you can get to, the Core 4, NYKO Celebration, ICU, UIA. What can you get to? What can you fly to? Recently, I booked a ticket to Super Saturday in Minneapolis. Yay! So excited. That was totally on a whim. And I literally was like, I don't know if I can afford it. And I looked at tickets, and they weren't that bad. They were like 180, but 180 can be a lot of dollars. Or a lot of money. And then I was like, wait, I have some airline credit cards. And I got my ticket for $11 because I used some airline miles. So there are things you can do to get to events. If you don't have an airline credit card, get one. Just put everything on it. People steal your identity from debit cards anyway. So just get a credit card, put everything on it, and then you can get free tickets to events when you want to go. Because that was like literally, oh, okay, we just did NYKO. Should I spend the money on this? And I got it for $11. So those are the things you need to be looking at, is what can I get to? How can I build to events? And who do I know in those areas? So that's what I'm doing. That's another thing I'm doing right now, is building to events. What else? I flipped to my page in my list, so now I got to go back to my notes. Another thing that I'm trying to be better at this year is investing in my business and investing in my team. Your team is everything, you guys. And I have amazing people on my team. I have amazing friends that I've had from PA school. I have amazing friends that I've had from my husband's friends. And I have people that I haven't even met before. So investing your time in your business and your team is amazing. And so one of my decisions to go to Super Saturday was I want to be there with my team. I really want to be there for them, because we moved from Wisconsin. So a lot of my team is there. So I want to be there for them. One other thing is, and this was more my husband's thing. His name's John, and he works for the forestry department with the government. So furloughed right now, but another topic. But he's been to some middle level leadership trainings, and I've gotten a lot of great information from him about how to become a better leader, how to build your business. And some of the he just randomly out of the blue one day, he said, I know my word for 2019. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, my word for 2019. I said, okay, what is it? And he said, I'm going to be unapologetic in 2019. And I said, I'm going to steal that from you. So, being unapologetically you and doing you. And Isagenix provides us with all the tools that we need to be successful. Our team provides us with all the tools that we need to be successful. But ultimately, you have to do you. And Heidi and Brian did a whole call on this and getting ready for NYKO, and you have to do what works best for you. You have to do your own personality. You can't just take the script and type it out and expect to get like all these blown up responses if you don't have your own persona in it. People are going to like see right through that, and they're going to go, what's this? This is like some prefab message. And a lot of us, well, I mean, we're in network marketing, so you've probably gotten canned messages from other network marketers, and it is bad taste, guys. Like, I got one from like Alcone by Limelight, and it was so canned and sent to probably like every single person on her Facebook. And when I read it, I was just like, oh gosh, this is why network marketers have such a bad name. No wonder. It was awful. So realize that we have the tools, we have an amazing team with everything, but you also have to do you. So like, I'm not doing the Isagenix, say, share, do right now. I'm following up with people. I'm building a relationship. I'm seeing how they're doing. And when they ask about me, I trickle some information in. And then, on follow-ups, I trickle a little more information in. Oh, hey, I'm going to be in Las Vegas. Do you want to like try to catch up about this? So it's not, we have all these things, but you really just have to do you and be unapologetic and authentically you. That's huge, is you just have to do you. What else do I got here? I think those are my main points. Oh, and just as far as like coming off events and that sort of thing, like what are you doing to still maintain that burning desire, that hunger? If you are at NYKO, you heard Emily Vavra talk about, are you hungry? Are you hungry for what you want in life? And what are you doing to maintain that? And so I kind of touched on some of the things that I keep my goals in mind and in sight. I say them every single day. I say them to my kids. So what are you doing to really keep that burning hunger going that keeps you in this business and that keeps you wanting to share and help people both physically and financially and everything that this company has to offer? So I just want you to kind of keep that in mind and ask yourself, like, what am I doing to keep this going? And what am I doing to stay in action? And, am I being unapologetic and authentically me throughout all this? So I just kind of wanted to open it up and see if anyone else had some takeaways from NYKO about some things you're changing to be in action, because I think I hit on my main things. So if anyone has any tips as to what you're doing, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I'll go.
Keep talking. Okay, go.
I loved the part because it's so much about the follow-ups, right? Gretchen, how many times did it take you or me to follow up with you and all those touches?
It was easily 30. I'm not even sure, but it was around 30.
Yeah. So you guys do not ever plan on trying to get somebody in the first 2 or 3 messages. They're probably going to be a fluke. Look for the people who are really going to be kind of not pushing you off, but the people that you're friends with and love on them and be authentic. I know that Teresa, you mentioned that in the thread, but be authentic, you guys. If you're following up, that is part of your IPAs, because it's all about the follow-ups. It's not just sending a berserk amount of messages out. That's part of it too, but mostly follow up. So that is so huge. So Chelsie, I thank you and applaud you for saying that you right now are focusing on following up with your list of huge people, and also at the same time tapping into some of those vendor shows. They're a lot of fun, and sometimes you just never know. You might find somebody who's going to be a winner.
Like you. That's great. Yeah, the follow-ups are really key. I've had, and many people will tell you this, that you do tons of follow-ups, you get a ton of ghosting. And I even sent out a message I have this list of people and I'm like, yes, I'm going to email them and I'm going to do this. And I even get to someone and I'm like, okay, I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go to the next one. I'll do that one later. There's still people on your list that scare you. And so it's just, you don't have to be like, hey, join this business with me. It's just like, following up and see how people are doing. And one other thing I just thought of is in this business, like, find your people. Like, who do you resonate with? Who do you connect with? Whether it's your direct upline or whether it's, someone else in this business, like, we are all here to support you. So if you feel like you resonate more with someone else, you can always do a call with them. It's just, the community, especially in our group, is just amazing. And so being able to find someone that you connect with and can talk to and kind of just really hash things out is really important as well. So that was just something else I wanted to add on. Holly, you were talking and something popped into my head, but it went away. Anything else you guys have?
I think for me, self-belief has always been really huge, and I can doubt myself like crazy when all I do is type or text or talk on the phone, those types of things. So if nothing else, I've joined a few networking events, and they're set up for 2-3 times a month, and it's kind of like speed dating at a table where you go around. And if nothing else, I get a heck of a lot more practice, like giving my elevator speech and talking about it and just being more natural and authentic. And then I love what you were saying, Chelsie, too, about just focusing on continuing to do the follow-ups and authentic, because this was my third big event, and coming out of the last two, I came out with big fire and sent those really generic, miserable network marketing mass messages to 150 people, right? So just my warm network is not going to get me where I want to go in the long term anyway. So I'm just not focusing on pushing anyone in my warm network. I'm just making the relationships grow more authentically and naturally, and then I'll be here when they want me, and I'm just pushing myself to go out and find new people. So
that's great. That's super awesome. Yeah. And self-development is great, because in this business, you get a lot of blowback from friends and family. And I've had a lot of like, oh, well, I would never want to type a message like that, because what would so-and-so think from like high school? Like, I think that would rub her the wrong way. And those, they still creep into my head like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't post that. And then I say, F it, who cares? Like, they don't make me money. They don't pay my bills. Their opinion of me does not do anything for me. And so, yeah, those little self-doubts are going to creep in, but just remember who you are and do you, and things will happen. They will. They really will. Sorry, I haven't been reading on the thread at all. So sorry, you guys.
That's fine, Chelsie. The one thing I'll add to that, which I love what you said, I just put it in the thread, but I used to do that where I would picture someone from high school or college, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, what are they going to think? And now instead, I've an easy switch is I've put myself in the habit of picturing like you guys instead. I'll be like, okay, instead of picturing that person, like picture someone on this call and post it for them instead of for that negative person.
Yeah, that's awesome. And actually one of those people she's my best friend from like first grade, and she's in Minneapolis. And guess what, guys? I've been not fighting, but back and forth bantering with her for the past almost, how long have I been doing this? Couple years with Isagenix. And she sent me some very not nice messages, and she's coming to Super Saturday in Minneapolis because I follow up with her. I love on her. I send her messages like, I know you're so sick of hearing about Isagenix, but guess what? I'm not going to stop. You gotta find your people. There are people that you can be like, hey, just listen to me. Just do this. If you don't like it, you can walk out. I don't really care. So you also have to know like who you're talking to, because there are people that I've not been friends with since first grade that I would never say that to. But her, I was just like, she asked for a sample. I was like, okay, I'm sending you a sample, so you'll come to Super Saturday with me, right? And she was like, oh, you got me. And I was like, no, I'm not trying to get you. I just want you there. And she's been drinking these awful, this is just a funny story. She's been drinking these awful shakes, and I called them shit shakes. And sorry if I'm not supposed to swear. And she was like, okay, you can even stay with me and I'll make you a SHIT shake. And I was like, no, I'll make you a panty dropper shake. And she was like, well, geez, you should be like networking on your wall. Like, don't try these crap shakes, try these panty dropper shakes, because that would get my attention. So you guys, you just never know. I mean, I've messaged her so many times. She sent me a lot of not nice text messages. And guess what? She's coming to Super Saturday in Minneapolis. So you just never know. You got to keep following up. You got to make it humorous. You have to, throw yourself like, I know I'm driving you crazy, but you've got to look into this. She's tried Weight Watchers. She's on a pill from her doctor right now. And I'm like, you just have to look into this for me, please. So there's some people that you just need to be super straightforward with. And then there's others you just need to tread water. So keep in mind who you're talking to as well, because everyone has different personalities.
I'll add something to the Facebook post and who you're speaking to. We did an exercise on the Instagram workshop the other night about writing who your ideal client is, who you're trying to attract. And I feel like for me in the past, I've just been really generic, like, a general demographic, whereas Jenna Kutcher recommends like really think about one person. And it's almost like, I feel like I was writing like a dating ad, like who my ideal person would be. And she says to name them and everything. And then every time you write a post, you think of that person. My girl is Jordan, and I can read you her bio. And every time I post now, I'm like, okay, what would Jordan think? Like, and since then, you have so much more fire because you're talking to her and you're going to attract that person versus thinking of the high school person that you're afraid what their opinion is, because that's probably not who you're trying to attract anyway.
Yeah, so true, Heidi. And I know when Gretchen and I have talked before, she says, who is your avatar? Who do you want to attract into this business? Who do you want to bring as clientele and as business builders? And that's what that is. So think about who you want. And so will my best friend from first grade be great in this business? I have no idea. I'm pretty much forcing her to come to Super Saturday, but oh well. But yeah, think about who, as far as your social media goes, who you want to attract and who you really want in this business for the long term. So I think we're getting close on time. So Allison, is there anything else?
No, sorry, 1 second. Hold on.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
I would just add to like make sure that you're listen to the Isogenics podcast, like watch NYKO, even if you were there, like listening to all those speakers is what gave you that fire, right? So just keep listening to it. Like don't just never look back on it again. And if you didn't go and you haven't watched it yet, watch it.
Yeah, it was amazing. And Emily Vavra's words are still ringing in my ears. So I would love to go back and watch her again. And like I was saying, you'll resonate with different people. So like if you were MYKO and you didn't resonate with Emily Vavra, there's probably someone there you did resonate with. So pick whoever it is you resonate with and listen to them, follow them, look up what they did to become successful, that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Chelsie, you did awesome. If you look at the chat, everyone is just commenting about how great you did. So thank you. And yeah, Emily Vavra's is available at isogenicslive.com free. Anyone can go watch it again and again and again. If you go there, or if you weren't there, go check it out. There's the website, and it's like right at the top, so you can watch it. And that's what we have for tonight.
Perfect. Well,
thank you, Chelsie, so much. Mm-hmm. Yay, that was amazing. So helpful. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, guys.